Hi there, I'm James Bleakman. I'm the Director and Chief Creative of this office design. To be honest, I wasn't entirely comfortable with the title of just Director, and I wanted to inject a little bit of personality into it and also reflect sort of my role within the business. I am the main creative, so it just made sense to sort of tag that bit onto the title. Not at the moment, no. So as you can probably tell, from the UK originally, and I grew up in a sleepy little village called Tamworth and Arden, which is in Warwickshire. And it's the sort of place you appreciate as you get older. It's got beautiful countryside, rolling hills. At the time now, when I was younger, we always felt it was too far away from the main cities and getting mum and dad to drop us everywhere that we needed to go. We felt a little bit isolated, but it's a beautiful place and I love going back there now when we get the opportunity to. So from the age of around 14, I actually wanted to be an architect, but I was actually put off by the 7 years of training that was required in order to fully qualify as an architect. So I decided to study interior design instead, but in fact the joke was on me because prior to my degree I studied a foundation course which was a year, then did my degree which was 3 years, and then ultimately studied a master's degree after. So I ended up studying 5 years anyway, so maybe I should have taken the architecture route. So I first came out to Australia in 2012, halfway through 2012, and that was on a work exchange program through my employer in the UK, who was Overbury, and Shape, who are out here in Australia. It was a 6-month program, and I had to return back to the UK in January of 2013. But as they say, love conquers all, and my now wife drew me back out to Australia in October 2013, and this is where we've been ever since. Yeah, good question. So I guess really, from my experience in the industry over 20 years, I've worked for some really good employers, maybe one or two not so good employers, but what I wanted to do is bring all of that experience into my business, all the good stuff, and really focus on client experience and relationships and build a business from that. Those were the foundations that I wanted to build the business from, and hopefully that's what we're doing. And I guess do things my way. This is definitely not a lifestyle business. I've never worked harder. In the last 20 years of being in industry, I've never worked harder. It's definitely the most challenging thing I've done professionally. But having said that, really enjoying it, and it's just nice kind of making those final decisions and kind of living with them and I guess, you know, being responsible for everything that you do, and that reflecting on the business and ultimately on me. Yeah, interesting. Who would I like to meet? I guess this one's probably a bit left field, but I watch Grand Designs a lot, or you know, when it was on pre-COVID. But I really like Kevin MacLeod. I think he's just a really good guy, and he cuts through all the design waffle and just tells it how it is. And I'm just big on spending time with people that are going to enhance my life. So yeah, I'd love to meet Kevin MacLeod. I actually came close once when I was in the UK in my early 20s. We were on an art trip in London, and we were sat outside the V&A museum, and he actually came out the entrance and walked straight past me. But I'd never have the bottle to go up to speak to him. So yeah, I guess that was my chance that night, and I missed it. Favourite colour? Yeah, easy, yellow. Oh, come on, who's writing these questions? I can't say who the best client is. For me, the part of the process, the design process that I enjoy the most is at the very start, when you meet a client, you're sort of feeling each other out, you're getting to know each other, and you sort of, it's pulling together that concept and providing the initial thoughts and drawings, and when that concept falls into place and you have that aha moment and you're sort of like, yeah, that's it. and it's one of those where you can't wait to tell anyone that's going to listen. And then when you sort of, you tell the client and they sort of go, wow, I never thought of that. That's the bit that kind of makes it all worthwhile, all those long hours that you put in. So yeah, it's kind of at the very start of the process, and kind of sort of within that is challenging myself to show the client something new. Well, at the moment, there's not really a lot of spare time. Having a business in its infancy, it does take up a lot of my time. But I'm very sporty. I've always played cricket since the age of 11. I enjoy playing golf, although the membership's taken a bit of a hiatus at the moment. And I've just taken up tennis again. So yeah, do try and do some sport when I get the chance. Alongside that, I've got a 1-year-old daughter, so I love spending time with her and my family. But I'm also, I guess, a bit of a vinyl junkie. I've been DJing for, I guess, the last 25 years. I've actually got a website called Let's Go Disco. I'll put the details up on the screen. So check that out if you wanna sort of listen to some of the stuff that I record. There's loads of free mixes on there. Like a lot of this content, it's all there for people to go and enjoy. So yeah, check it out. Yeah, another good one, analog or digital. Well, I guess if you'd have asked me before I'd started the business last year, I would have just grabbed a pencil and a piece of sketch paper straight away. That's kind of traditionally, a kind of the best way to sort of feel out the design process in the early stages of a design. But I guess I would probably have to gravitate more towards digital now. I really enjoy, there's an app I use called Procreate, and it's probably the most responsive sort of app. It's on the iPad. It's the most sort of, I guess, lifelike app that I've ever used. It's brilliant, and it's great because you can, if you're watching this, you've probably seen some of the other videos where we do the time lapses, and it's just really good, for showing that process. I just really enjoy it, and I think that kind of reflects where I want to sort of go with the business. Always challenging creativity, different ways, different ideas, and sort of, as I say, starting using apps like Procreate as I've started the business is a reflection of how I want the business to evolve. Always kind of looking for the next thing and trying to do something a bit different. So yeah, Todd TV. So that platform is really something for us that we use to provide value to people and also to build trust. So people that have never met us before or met me, they can sort of jump on YouTube or on the website, via their phone or the laptop, and just check out who we are, what we're doing, and how we do things. It's all free, and it's just about providing people with value, and just gives them an opportunity just to see who we are. That's all it is, really, and we'll keep doing it. We'll keep doing it as long as we're going, basically. If I had to pick one, it would probably be, I guess it would probably be set your own standards. That's probably a bit of a cop-out because you can probably incorporate all the core values into that. And yeah, I guess that is summed up in one word, and that's integrity. And that's something that we want to reflect in everything that we do. But I guess I think something that's really stood out to me since I started the business is communication. And I've said it in the core values, it's something that's so easy to do, but so few people, so few businesses get it right. And for me, over the last kind of 9 months, it's really shown to me how poor this industry is at communication, just generally. And whether that's through laziness, through incompetence, or through, I don't know, just disengagement, but it's something that I've challenged myself to be as best as I can at, and I challenge myself to respond to all communication, regardless of the dynamic of the relationship, within 12 hours, within 12 business hours. So a day and a half essentially for me and you know, ultimately I'll do return communication far quicker than that, but I give myself 12 hours, and I'm happy to be called out on that. And you know, for me, that's the only way that you can maintain it and make sure that you keep doing it, is to be held accountable for it. So I've probably given two there: integrity, setting my own standards, and communication. The dreaded C word. Well, you know, every business has a or two in it, so you know, just get rid of that toxicity straight away. So, yeah, I guess in the short to sort of midterm, what we're seeing is it's about how businesses operate and manage their systems internally. It's more of a management approach at the moment. There's some businesses that are making a few tweaks to their environments, but I think as a whole, there's no wholesale changes going on. It's about waiting really just to sort of see how the land lies over, I guess, the next sort of, you know, 3, 6, 12 months. But yeah, I think it's more about management, how businesses approach it and manage their staff and their systems internally. For me, I mean, there's a lot of talk about, you know, is the office dead? The office will never die. People need a place to be, to go to connect. And, you know, the office might evolve slightly. It might be a place more for collaboration where people can come together. Now that managers have seen and can start trusting employees to actually work and perform their roles outside of the office, finally, I think the office could evolve into a place where people just come together. They meet, they collaborate, they brainstorm, they workshop. And then they go away and they do their focus work elsewhere, whether that's in at the home, in a cafe, in a library, you know, in kind of shared workspaces. But yeah, and then they come together to sort of work in the office environment. But yeah, so the office will never die, because people need that connection, and it's particularly relevant for young people coming into the office world and into their jobs. You know, new graduates coming in, because they need that kind of that mentorship and that education from their peers above them. And if they don't have that connection, that physical connection, it's so much more difficult for them to learn and for them to grow and for them to, I guess, improve in their roles. So yeah, the office will be around. It just might evolve slightly into a slightly different thing. Greatest achievements, I've got a few really. So both my babies, and when I say that I mean my daughter, obviously, you know, very proud father, and also my business. So yeah, very, very proud of those achievements, which funny enough sort of both came to be within about 6 months of each other. So it's been quite a busy period for me. As well, though, I was really proud of completing the master's degree after my Bachelor of Arts. It was the toughest 12 months, or one of the toughest 12 months I've had. It was a really, really challenging course, and really proud to come out of that with a master's with distinction. And finally, I guess, moving countries, coming over from the UK over to Sydney, and you know, essentially starting a new life and building a new network, both sort of socially and professionally. So yeah, I think they're kind of the greatest achievements to date. I reckon we'll have about 500 staff. You know, we'll be across 6 time zones, and we'll be smashing $1 billion. Yeah, I can't see that happening somehow, but yeah, for me, we started the business because I wanted to provide value to people and just build great relationships. And you know, as long as we can keep doing that, you know, I'll be happy. And for me, it becomes tougher the bigger the business gets, the tougher it is to kind of maintain those values. So whilst we want to grow, we don't want to get too big, you know, where we can't sort of honour what we set out to do in the first place. So yeah, I won't put a number on, you know, how big, but you know, let's see what happens.